Will the High Command be able to settle DK Shivakumar, or are we headed towards Rajasthan 2.0? I want to go across to Aishwarya Mahadev, who I remember joined us on the day of the verdict. We all congratulated the Congress for their big victory, and you were certain that there will be no Nataka in Karnataka and that there'd be good governance. We've already seen DK Shivakumar flex his muscles. He's having a stomachache, not coming over, his birthday wish not coming true. He's just getting his blood pressure checked. Images playing on our screen. It seems that this victory is off to a bit of a rocky start.
Good evening, Rahul. I think first and foremost, speculation and hypothetical possibilities do not make for a government. In here, when you talk about these people told me this and whatnot, there has been no official communication either from the High Command or the Congress leadership whatsoever. There are still discussions underway, and I believe when the right decision is made, that it will be publicly announced. A whole bunch of people talking about a secret ballot, how many MLAs supporting whom and what not, is not in the light, right? And Mr. DK Shivakumar has told us exactly what he has done. He inherited a Congress party right during COVID, when the numbers that people were projecting for us were absolutely abysmal. And today we're at 135 plus independents. And I think, let's be honest, I was also there today, is that he is severely unwell. He's had to have a cannula, he's on a drip, he was extremely unwell, he was supposed to travel, but his doctors recommended against it. None of it is an indication of any sort of flexing, none of it is an indication of anything else.
If he was the first choice for CM, then maybe he would have felt slightly better, and that's a fact. The fact is he did fight hard. The fact also is that he is unwell. Rajdeep, why has Siddaramaiah been chosen over DK?
Rahul, I have to tell you that he is still convincingly in the race for Chief Minister. There are a lot of things that you will know very soon, and I still believe that what you're calling has not happened because there's no official communication.
So you're thinking that DK Shivakumar could be CM and not Siddaramaiah? Is that what you're telling us, Aishwarya? That's your understanding?
Rahul, what I'm trying to say is that there's a precedent of the CLP, that there's a precedent of the PCC chief naturally becoming the person that leads the state, albeit in 2013 it did not happen, that there's a procedure that is still underway, there are discussions still at talk. This large speculation in the media may be concocted, a larger part of it may be forced also, but I don't think any of it has a bearing on the final decision of the High Command, and I think there is a lot more to go, but you will see very shortly that you'll have a decisive face to lead the state, because we are not going to allow anything to come in the way of governance and the fact that we have promised that we will give you good governance for 5 years.
One man's in Delhi, the other's in Karnataka. I think it's quite clear what's happening. Rajdeep, why has Siddaramaiah been chosen? Aishwarya is not convinced. She thinks it hasn't happened yet. Has it?
I was with someone very close to Mr. Siddaramaiah just a short while ago. I'm coming straight from there, Rahul, and it's a done deal. From what I gather, the majority of MLAs
How many?
95 was the number that one of the observers who went to Karnataka yesterday gave me, but I'm told that number could now be over 100. So he's got 3/4. 3/4 of the MLAs are with him. That's an overwhelming number. You know, even if it was 60-40, 70-30, you'd think that the other side has a chance. Look,
Why do they back him? Why do they back him?
Because at the end of the day, I think Mr. Siddaramaiah is seen as the mass leader who's built in a way who these MLAs believe have helped them get elected. On the other hand, let's be fair to DK Shivakumar. He is the person who rebuilt the organization. When he took over from Dinesh Gundu Rao in 2020, the Congress was going nowhere. He has, over the last 3 years, built this organization with his resources, with his energy. And sources close to DK Shivakumar claim that Sonia Gandhi, when she met DK Shivakumar when he was, in police stations and in jail, had assured him that when you take over, if you win us Karnataka, we will ensure that you get the top job. Or so DK Shivakumar supporters say. So DK has a much stronger case than many others in the Congress have had in other states. But I think the sheer overwhelming number of MLAs, Rahul, who are with Siddaramaiah, who's really crafted this kind of social coalition around his own image as a pro-poor leader, is the reason why, when I was at Siddaramaiah's, he's staying at the moment at a 5-star hotel here in Delhi, and the MLAs were just streaming in. Now, MLAs
They've
are very...
come from Karnataka with
They've come and they know which way the wind is blowing. Look, MLAs are very clear. All of them angling for ministerships. In fact, as I was leaving, one of them told me, can you say on the show that I also am a potential contender for deputy CM? I said, boss, keep me out of all this. But the fact is
if
that...
this was the BJP and if Rajdeep had named this particular leader, uska to patta cut wahi pe.
No, so I think...
In the Congress it could be different, Rajdeep.
Yeah, no, look, I think obviously there's enthusiasm when you're coming back to power after 4 years. There's talk of deputy chief ministers, more than one, accommodating the various caste groups that are
But
back.
Shivakumar won't like that. It's not even fair to Shivakumar.
Yeah, so I don't...
There's more than one deputy
absolutely,
CM.
Rahul. So I don't think that, the original idea was have more than one chief minister, Lingats, Vokaligas, Dalits, all accommodated. That may not happen. I see DK Shivakumar as of now, deputy chief minister, getting important portfolios and with some kind of assurance. That's the critical question, that 2 years, 3 years down the line, once Lok Sabha is done and dusted, that he will be made CM. But we've seen what happened with Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and DK Shivakumar doesn't want to become a Sachin Pilot or a T.S. Singh.
And he also told me when I asked DK Shivakumar this question during the campaign trail, I am no Sachin Pilot. I've seen what happens. It won't happen to me. He was quite emphatic when he said it. Manisha Priyam, it's great to have you with us in the studio after a long while, so welcome.
Thank you.
Will this formula hold, or will in the coming months we see Karnataka become Rajasthan 2.0? There I want to play out images of Sachin Pilot out on the roads, hundreds thronging behind him, going from Alwar to Jaipur. And forget what Sachin is doing, it just makes the Congress look like the laughing stock that they're not able to take their two leaders together.
So I think there's no question that Karnataka is not becoming a Rajasthan. Rajasthan, I remember very well.
You think it will become a Rajasthan?
No, it will not.
Why not?
I mean, I remember Rajasthan became Rajasthan even as the tickets were being distributed for the last assembly elections. A lot of the
What's
seats.
the difference you see?
So I see that DK Shivakumar, this political moment is the crafting of DK Shivakumar. Do not forget that Siddaramaiah was not able to take the party along. He remained a full-term chief minister.
No, but Siddaramaiah by his very nature is individualistic. He's not known to share power.
So it's DK Shivakumar who's put everybody together, everything together, but he's the organization man and Siddaramaiah clearly the governance man. Remember also that it's the old Mysuru region that remains the focus of the Congress party, and the old Mysuru region has been a two-horse victory. It's also important to remember that Siddaramaiah is the OBC face of the Congress. Remember, if Rahul Gandhi has a moment of sunshine behind him right now, it's because in the Kolar rally, the announcement made by Mr. Khadge was that we need a pro-OBC stand to be taken by the party. We need a caste-based census. The only way in which the southern state can talk to all the other Mandalite parties is by projecting a very strong OBC face.
You can't have a Vokaliga chief minister for that reason.
At this point, no.
But how do you then contain DK Shivakumar? How do you ensure Sandeep Shastri that he doesn't become the next Sachin Pilot? Now, Sachin Pilot and Gehlot also in some ways are similar because Gehlot had more MLAs with him. Sachin was youthful. Many who watched said, okay, he's the one who ran the Rajasthan Pradesh Congress Committee. He's the one who should have been given a chance. He was denied. Now he's out in the road, burning in the sun, asking for his pound of flesh but not getting it.
Rahul, I would agree with Dr. Manisha and Rajdeep. We are reading too much of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh into Karnataka. Karnataka is different. I think Karnataka has always demonstrated greater maturity on these issues. Yeah. Let's also remember DK Shivakumar has been in the Congress for years. He has been a loyalist to the party. This is not the only occasion when he has been denied what he thought is his due. When Siddaramaiah became chief minister, Siddaramaiah refused to include him in the ministry for 7 months, and then it was in the insistence of the High Command that he was included, and Shivakumar had kept quiet. So I think Shivakumar will do some very hard bargaining. I think he will settle for nothing less than being the only deputy chief minister with several portfolios and continuing to be a KPCC president, and a promise that he would be taken care of. Remember, Mr. Siddaramaiah will touch 78, 79, 3 years into his term. So I think there will be various calculations that go in, and I don't see the likelihood of Karnataka going the Rajasthan way. I think the High Command has learnt its lessons in Rajasthan and will not repeat those errors which it committed there in Karnataka.
Have they?
And also,
I don't know. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm not sure I agree with
I am
what you're
not
saying. No, I'll tell you why. Because the High Command knew what was the right thing to do. That Sachin Pilot should get his term. I think Sonia Gandhi understands that, Priyanka understands it, Rahul understands it. They just couldn't enforce their writ. What is to stop Siddaramaiah once he's Chief Minister from refusing to make way for Shivakumar? Ab kar lo jo karna hai aapko.
You see, it is very difficult when you're not in power at the center to enforce your writ. This is an opposition party, the Congress. You see, when you're in power at the center, it's much easier to enforce your writ, as we've seen with the BJP when they removed...
Sandeep Shastri is saying the Congress High Command has learned its lessons.
You see, the Congress High Command, in the very nature of it, tries to placate everyone. You see, it is not the kind of domineering High Command that the Modi High Command is. Sonia Gandhi today, DK Shivakumar, we've seen in the Ashok Gehlot. Rahul, what, 6 months ago, was supposed to come to Delhi as Congress President. Mallikarjun Kharge then was sent as an observer, virtually to ensure that Ashok Gehlot facilitated a smooth transfer of power. It didn't happen. Ashok Gehlot actually virtually dared the High Command and refused to come to Delhi.
And they could do nothing about it.
So I think it's a weakened High Command. I think the problem the Congress faces, even what DK Shivakumar is doing today, if he is seen to be challenging the authority of the High Command to appoint Siddaramaiah, is effectively enforcing the thought that today state level leaders can dictate terms in some way to the Congress High Command, which was not the case when the Congress High Command was all powerful and the Congress was in power at the center. So DK Shivakumar is bargaining hard because he's seen from an Ashok Gehlot, he's seen other instances where if you dare the High Command, there's a possibility that the High Command will accommodate you. So I think that's what's happening now.
RP is saying, from the BJP's perspective, you know, Congress can say this is our internal democracy, it's at play. Leaders can speak. It's not like the BJP where people are scared of speaking. They can speak their heart out, and the Congress, as Rajdeep says, tries to take to the extent possible everyone along rather than enforce one person's writ.
Well, Rahul, it's not happening for the first time. I mean, just now Rajdeep mentioned about how Gehlot showed the thumb to Kharge and Mr. Ajay Makhan, both of them, when they were sent as observer. And he said, I am not prepared to accept what you are asking me to accept, and I am going to leave Rajasthan. So was case in Sidhu and the captain also. I mean, it went to the extent that captain quitted the party and formed his own party. So is the case with Mr. Deo, T.S. Singh Deo and Bhupesh Baghel. I mean, it's just a matter of time when that also explodes. This all is because, as Rajdeep is saying, that when the central leadership or the leadership doesn't command that respect among the workers, among the cadre, and they are not seeing that, okay, these are people who will get us to the to get us the
I
vote.
didn't use the word respect. With due respect, I didn't say they don't command respect. They don't command that political authority.
I left it there, Rajiv, what you quoted, I left it there. I mean, why you have to come in defense of Congress party there every time? I mean, I left it, that point was there only for that point. That's what I am saying, that they don't command respect. I'm not putting words into your mouth, as Rahul Gandhi has said that you are the mouthpiece for them. I'm not doing so. But that point aside, the fact is that Congress, it is difficult for them to decide to pick up a man who has delivered them the state, or pick up the man who will govern probably better for them. I mean, that's the issue, and that's their decision. I mean, they have to take a call on this. But I see a tug of war which will happen, and ultimately,
no, but this is actually a better problem to have. You know, there was a report which came out, Sardar RP Singh, which talks about how 10 people who used to be in the BSY camp who were denied tickets by the party actually ended up winning. Now, why BSY's people are winning on non-BJP tickets is anyone's guess. And your former Chief Minister's role, it's actually better to have this DK versus Sidda problem after a big victory than to be sitting in the opposition with half the seats of the leading party.
Well, leave our decision to us. I mean, and we are happy with what we achieved. I mean, okay, we'll assess where we went wrong. But yes, we have brought a generational change in the party in Karnataka. There's a shift in the generation now in the party also, and also it has to shift. I mean, otherwise, how will the young blood or the new blood will come? I mean, that's the subject. But coming to the issue, I mean, it's not Congress going against the will of the party, and the party goes with DK Shivakumar today, and then they are trying to oppose Siddaramaiah there. And then so is the case with Pilot and the Ashok Gehlot. I mean, Pilot is on streets. I mean, it's a matter of time when DK Shivakumar will be also on streets. I mean, if he's not given what he's asking for. And then, I'm sorry,
Aishwarya Mahadev, now that the dissent is as clearly visible to everyone who's not a congressman, that he's clearly unhappy that he'll not be made chief minister, the likes of RP Singh think that it's only a matter of time before Shiv Kumar does a Sachin Pilot.
You know, before I answer that, and I think it's extremely rich and rank in irony that the BJP wants to talk about progress and the people of Karnataka suffering, because, sir, the mandate that the people have given you is a clear indictment of the fact that you made them suffer. And you talk about all of this, while the reality remains that when you were changing Mr. Yediyurappa...
I mentioned about Rajasthan. I never mentioned about... I mean, Karnataka still has to happen. I was just talking about Rajasthan, the way the people of Rajasthan are suffering.
Sir,
those promises made that within 10 days I'll clear the loans for the farmers is still pending, and farmers are being trashed by the baton.
Are we done? Can I continue? Okay. So the fact of the matter is...
Rajdeep has the right to interrupt me and put his point of view. I have my right to put my point of view across and not to misquote it.
Wonderful. So the BJP is now moderating debates as well. But anyway, the fact remains...
Aishwarya Mahadev has the confidence of someone who's just won, okay? She's like, okay, I can chip in, have a few swings. I've just been part of a big victory, which is fine, I get that. Victory can
Rahul,
be handy.
I think this confidence has been there and will continue to stay. But the fact is, Rahul, when he spoke about Mr. DK Shivakumar going onto the ground and creating a scenario, I will tell you this. This is the man that went to jail instead of being coerced into moving to a party that he did not want to go to. This is a man that took the risk for Mr. Ahmed Patel during that election. This is a man that inherited...
In this race, I see you are clearly rooting for DK Shivakumar. Aishwarya, so what I can gather... You are clearly rooting for DK Shivakumar.
I can say it with my heart on my hand, yes. I believe at some point that you need to give the opportunities to who you have to. Whatever speculation, I still believe that the party high command has to make its decision. We will respect it. The fact is, it's not a choice between two bad people. It is a choice between two stupendously amazing politicians, both of whom deserve a chance. And that is not a bad dilemma to have, Rahul, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, it's better than being in the opposition and wondering how
or
BSY people won on a non-BJP ticket. But anyway, that's besides the point. One of the Congress's big ideas, Manisha Priyam, now is that they will push for a caste census. Yeah. Now, the Congress in power didn't want this. Out of power, they think that as the BJP brings Hindus together under the rubric of Hindutva, the one way to splinter the Hindu identity is to have a caste census. Then everyone's very conscious of their caste, not worrying so much about the Hindu umbrella. Is this an idea you think which has potential for 2024?
It does. I mean, it is the only idea that the opposition seems to have in their basket. Remember, Nitish Kumar was harboring this idea. It's been there. Naveen Patnaik has already been talking about the same thing. Both of them say we are somewhere...
Can this split Hindutva?
So, it's been a classic divide, Mandal and Kamandal. Lalu stopping the so-called majestic Rath outside of Bihar. Then the Rath comes in, but the socialists say, okay, in combination we'll keep this out. So it's one more reincarnation of the Mandal idea.
This is what you study. Do you think Mandal can once again stop Kamandal?
I don't know whether it will happen or not, because the BJP itself has now imbibed so much of the Mandal. The BJP today is a reincarnated OBC party. Remember what the BJP did in Uttar Pradesh. It had a combination of extremes. It had a combination of Thakurwad, the upper caste with it, but also a very solid core of the OBCs go in their direction. The Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, for example, Modi ji's own identity, for example. In Bihar, you remember there was this afwah that was spread, oh, Mohan Bhagwat has said we'll end reservation. Immediately comes Narendra Modi and announces no. And
no, but that announcement killed their chances in 2015.
No, but you know, Mr. Modi has been able to project his identity being pro-Mandal rather than not.
Sandeep Shastri, this is the Congress's big idea. Not much discussion around it, because that wasn't the dominant theme in the Karnataka elections, but could be the dominant theme going forward. Jitni abadi utna haq. This idea of pushing for a caste-based census. Could this be the idea that helps the opposition split Hindutva unity?
Rahul, it was part of the campaign. The whole Rainbow Social Coalition is about reaching out to those groups who they feel should be given a space in the political spectrum. And I'll go back to a point I made, Rahul. I think under a new Congress president, who also incidentally is from Karnataka, I think there is a greater caution in dealing with this infighting in the party. And that's the reason I said I do not see Rajasthan repeating itself, because you have a Congress president now in place who incidentally belongs to this state, and he would make sure that in his home state there are no challenges. Otherwise, how does he then lead the party across the country? So I think there will be irritations, there will be very, very hard bargaining, but I think ultimately DK Shivakumar would agree. Remember also that next year you have a Lok Sabha election. So it's critical for the Congress government in Karnataka to have this unity, because you are facing an election next year. And if that bickering starts, the party knows, and the party presumably realizes, that our chances of doing anything next year in Karnataka or anywhere else would be greatly
R.P. Singh, we saw how Bhagwatji's comment in the 2015 election became a rallying point which Lalu Prasad Yadav used to create the scare against the BJP, RSS. Rahul Gandhi now officially adopting Nitish Kumar's plank of the caste census. Are you concerned that your efforts to unite all Hindu communities could be fractured by the Congress now? I don't know whether Rahul personally believes it or not, but politically he thinks this is a good idea, and now the Congress will push this in the months to come.
Well, Rahul, I would not like to comment on this because party still has to deliberate on this subject, but yes, it's a matter of concern. It's a matter of concern for every Indian and every Hindu who stays in this country.
Do you believe, Aishwarya Mahadev, that's a good idea for a caste census? I mean, forget the party line for a second. The idea that we'll be split even further along caste lines, that more jobs will be reserved depending on caste. I mean, surely you don't think it's a good idea, or you can't say that on TV.
Rahul, I can tell you for a fact that I think it's a good idea, because social justice is something that is extremely important, and I believe constitutionally it is the responsibility of governments to ensure the implementation of these schemes to empower the communities that need it most. Communities are dynamic, castes are dynamic, you see socioeconomic statuses being dynamic. So why is it that you cannot have a census that proportionately represents this sort of dynamic sort of flux and change? We believe for better delivery of schemes, for better implementation for those who rightly deserve it, the caste census here is extremely required. And if you want to talk about checks and
here's the thing, Manisha Prem, it's also a very emotional idea. You know, jobs are scarce, the youth want jobs, they think that they don't get them, and if they have better reservation, they'll get more jobs. So in their own limited self-interest, each person who could be a potential beneficiary will see advantage and could slide towards a side that is backing this idea, which is why R.P. Singh is as cautious as he is in trying to deal with this bullet.
No, it's going to be extremely tricky. You are right. Public sector jobs have been shrinking. We've not been able to, I mean, there's been such large-scale denationalization ever since 1991. And when we've embraced liberalization and privatization to such a high degree, now what benefit or what use would reservations serve? A reservation served a purpose when we were building the temples of modern India, we were building public sector undertakings, but when that pie is shrinking, I think we'll have a revolution of rising expectations and an inability to provide what is now referred to as bharti or niyukti, which means government jobs, as different from any other kind of naukri.
This is something that we'll hear a lot more about, and political parties, citizens, voters will have to wrap their head around whether they think a caste census is a good idea or not. For the time being, the Congress is pushing it. To the extent that it did, it played a role in the Karnataka campaign and could become one of the central issues of the Congress and the opposition campaign against Hindutva politics and against the BJP building up to 2024. So we will build on this. For the moment, though, the big question is, Will DK Shivakumar gamely accept Siddaramaiah becoming Chief Minister? Aishwarya Mahadev says it's not done. She'd like DK to be Chief Minister. That's not happening just this moment. He did have a phenomenal role to play, make no mistake about it, in bringing the Congress to power. He will have to wait his turn. Will there be a mid-term switchover like was promised in Rajasthan?